He never left the coffin. The old Carter mausoleum had been sealed since 1923. Locals avoided the cemetery's southern edge, where the crypt sat hunched like a forgotten tombstone among the moss-covered graves. Children whispered tales of ghosts and ancient curses. Teenagers dared one another to touch its cold stone walls. But no one ever stayed long, especially not after sunset. When Marissa Carter returned to Willow's Edge to settle her late uncle's estate, the mausoleum was the last thing on her mind. A New York art curator with no belief in the supernatural, Marissa considered the legends little more than hillbilly folklore. That changed the night she opened her uncle's journal. She found it hidden beneath loose floorboards in his study, wrapped in a brittle red cloth. The pages were yellowed and smelled of mildew, filled with scrawled entries dating back months before his sudden death. March 14th. I hear the knocking again, always at 2:17 a.m. 3 knocks. Pause. 3 more. It's him. I know it. March 30th. The family lied. He never left the coffin. We just pretended he did. April 7th. If I don't make it, don't go to the crypt. Don't open it. Don't listen to him. The last entry was dated a week before he died. At first, Marissa suspected dementia or grief. Her uncle had been the family historian, a recluse who never married, never left town. She remembered his voice, deep and quiet, always warning her as a child to never go near the south fence. But the knocking, the line about the coffin, it pulled at her curiosity in a way she didn't like. Against her better judgment, she drove to the cemetery the next morning. The crypt looked just as she remembered, stone and ivy choked, its iron gate rusted shut. A tarnished plaque above the door read, Carter Family, 1812 to 1923. She stood there, feeling the hairs on her arms rise, even in the midday sun. Inside was cold, darker than night despite the daylight. Dust blanketed everything. 6 stone sarcophagi lined the walls, each bearing a name and date. 5 of them had death dates. The last, Jonah Carter, 1899, was blank. That's when the stench hit her, sweet and foul, like rotting meat soaked in perfume. Her breath caught in her throat. Something was wrong. The lid of Jonah's coffin had a deep gouge in it, as though something inside had pushed outward. She turned and fled. That night she couldn't sleep. The images in her uncle's journal haunted her. Knocking sounds, whispers in the dark, the line he never left the coffin looping in her brain. Logic fought superstition, but when the clock ticked past 2 a.m., her nerves frayed. Then it came. Knock, knock, knock. She sat up, heart thudding. Pause, knock, knock, knock. It came from inside the house, no, beneath it, the basement. She froze. Another knock, slower this time. Closer. Marissa grabbed her phone and tiptoed toward the stairs, each creak of the old floor like a scream. Her breath fogged in the hallway. The air had turned icy. She reached the basement door. Her hand trembled as she turned the knob. Darkness stared back. She clicked the flashlight on and stepped down. The smell hit her first, decay and roses. The light flickered. Something scraped against the floor below. When she reached the bottom step, she saw it. The red cloth that had wrapped the journal was now spread across the floor in a perfect rectangle. Something beneath it rose and fell, like shallow breathing. She pulled the cloth away. A coffin. Old, wooden, sealed shut with rusted nails. But the lid was moving, ever so slightly, like something inside was shifting. Marissa ran. She didn't return to the basement the next day, or the day after, but each night the knocking returned. Always at 2:17, always 3 knocks, always closer. By the 4th night, the knocks came from her bedroom wall. She tried everything. Sleeping pills, salt across the threshold, even reaching out to a local pastor. He listened, pale-faced, then told her this. The Carter curse was real. Jonah was buried alive, but not by accident. Your family believed he was something else, not fully human. Your great-grandfather said Jonah smiled too much and never blinked, that he spoke to things that weren't there. So they sealed him in, not to bury him, but to trap him. Marissa's mouth had gone dry. He should never have been disturbed. That night she packed her bags, but it was too late. When the knocking began again, it wasn't from the walls. It was from the mirror. She stared in disbelief as her reflection knocked, fingers tapping on the inside of the glass. Knock, knock, knock. Then it smiled. Not her smile, something too wide, something too hungry. The lights went out. In the dark, she heard the sound of nails being pried from wood. She woke up in the mausoleum, cold stone beneath her. Her arms ached, legs heavy. Around her the crypt was unchanged, but her uncle's journal lay open beside her, and on its pages, written in red. He walks again. He's wearing your face now. You should not have opened the door. The air grew colder. She stood, dizzy, and stumbled toward the exit, but the door wouldn't budge. From behind one of the coffins, a shape moved. She backed away, heart hammering. A figure stepped into the torchlight. Her uncle, number it, looked like him. Same face, same clothes, but the eyes were wrong, hollow, glowing faintly red. He smiled that too wide smile. "Welcome home, Marissa," he whispered, his voice dry as dead leaves. "He's been waiting for you." Then more figures stepped out, each wearing the face of someone she knew, a cousin, a neighbor, her childhood best friend. But all dead, all smiling. She screamed. But no one heard. Back in town, people talked about the strange things happening since Marissa arrived. Mirrors fogging over with handprints, children saying they saw a lady with no eyes standing in their bedrooms. The pastor who helped her? Found dead in his church, a red cloth shoved into his mouth. The mausoleum door stayed sealed, but some nights, if you passed by at just the right time, around 2:17 a.m., you'd hear it. Knock, 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 3 times. Then silence. Locals say Jonah Carter never left the coffin, and now neither has Marissa. But someone is out there wearing her face. And they're smiling. The end.